Alright, today we're gonna do, I decided to do this video just because, I was gonna put some on myself, and why not just go ahead and make a video about it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna show you my way of putting Talon grips on the right way, whatever you want to say, just the way I've been putting them on for years. That's worked well for me. I've used Talon grips for I don't know how many years now, on almost every gun I've carried, up until my M&P 2.0, because that grip was about perfect. So I always used to put the granulated Talons on my old 19 and my 27 that I carried for years. But when I got the M&P, I didn't need it. It had that sandpaper-like texture, which I like. So now I'm gonna put this 19 Gen 5 into my rotation of those two guns that I carry. Mainly this one right now. I switch it up here and there, but so I wanted to go ahead and get some Talon grips on, so I went ahead and got them. Local store carries them, so I picked them up yesterday or the day before. So first thing we'll want to do, now this is going to work for pretty much every gun that you have that you're installing Talon grips on. Some of them install differently, so you're like Steyrs and things like that, they have instructions on their website, of course, but and these aren't going to be any different. But these wrap around from the back to the, you're going to start on the left, move around to the back. So I'll show you. We'll go ahead and open this up. It says open here, but of course it doesn't work like that all the time. I don't have my knife handy. There we go. So first thing, if you haven't, if you're watching this video, you probably already decided to go with Talon grips. But if you haven't for some reason, besides stippling your gun, this is the best thing you can do for grip enhancement. And those are the only two options that I really feel that are out there. You have Talon grips, or traction grips, the other brands, whatever, or stipple the gun. Hogue, Pachmayr grips, and I'll say this in my opinion, they're junk. They're bulky, they look like shit, and I remember the main thing that turned me off on them years ago. I was at one of the farms I used to shoot at, my buddy, I think it was a Shield, it was some small, maybe an LCP, I can't remember offhand, but he had a Hogue grip. It wasn't an LCP because I want to say it was a Shield or maybe a car, because he had a few of them. I can't remember offhand. It's been like 8 years, but he had that grip and he was shooting, and it wasn't a big deal. We're just at the range, but when he went to hit the mag, drop his mag, it wouldn't come out. Kept wondering what was going on, and the grip had slid up during shooting and got up over the backside of his mag release right here, and so he couldn't push in on the mag release, so it wouldn't roll out. Now at the range it's not a big deal, but in an offense situation, which most of these grips are used for, that's something you're gonna you might have to use. You might have to drop the mag. So that's just one of those things that you think about. And besides the other reasons of Hogues and Pachmayrs being jokes and junk, whatever, it's just they look terrible on your gun. Like if you put them on a Glock, they just look awful. That may not be a big deal to a lot of people, but they also add bulk. So unless you really want to add bulk, I think they're the biggest joke in the gun industry, and they're just dumb. Now, a lot of people are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. If you like them, that's up to you. But I would really make sure you check on them, especially if you carry that gun, because they will start to loosen up, and they ride up, and they're $20 worth of crap rubber. So Talon grips are about the only way to go with them for adding grip to your gun, besides if you don't want to stipple it. So we'll get to it. That's all it comes with. Oh, wait a minute. This is a Glock video. There we go. I don't even own an XDS anymore, but I always buy those mats when I can. So yeah, now we got the appropriate mat out here. Let me show you the way I put these on. So the first thing you'll want to do is, it comes with an alcohol pad that you can use. I'm just going to keep it to the side, and I'm going to, of course, field strip the gun, and I'm just going to spray some alcohol on the grip itself. And then I'm going to take a good clean toothbrush, clean it off. This is a fairly brand new gun, so it's been cleaned recently. It's had about 500-600 rounds through it now, so it's pretty darn clean. The plastic's not messed up or anything. So now I'm gonna go ahead and clean it off real good with alcohol. I'm not prepared as I should be. Now, I'm not gonna wipe it off with anything. I would normally just let there and dry. But since for the video, I'll dry it off real quick. That's something you want to keep. You're gonna want a hair dryer with you. I'll show you why after we're done. And after you're done, alcohol wipe and brushing it. Try not to touch it anymore of the frame unless you absolutely have to. If you have any oils or lotions on your hand, that can get into the plastic and cause the grip not to stick as well. Now, I will say with Talons, like I said, I've used them a lot of times, and I put them on not as good as this. I remember one time I got them, and I slapped them on in the car real quick. I just kind of threw them on, and they lasted for years. I think that was on my 27, and they just went on, and the gun was probably dirty. So that shows you they use a pretty good adhesive. As long as you take care of them, everything seems to go pretty well with them. So we'll go ahead and peel these off. It's got one of those little gummy things on the back. Thank you. It's got some instructions there that you can follow. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'll tell you exactly everything you need to do. Use only rubbing alcohol and things like that. So we'll remove the backing. Now you want to start with the left side. So if you want to go ahead and put it on the gun, kind of get you a feel of where everything's going to line up at. These are a little different. I'm not going to lie, I haven't done a Gen 5 yet. The last ones I've done was on a Gen 4, and so they had the finger grooves that went in between. So let me make sure everything's lining up here. Nice Talon logo. Leave the Glock logo exposed. So there we go. Need one more quick. Make sure everything's off. And now let's start from the left side. So when you're looking at them, you want to start with the smaller side, and you want to go ahead and peel that off. Don't peel off the whole thing, and try not to touch the sticky backer of it. You're going to have to just a little bit, but try to peel into the next one easily. I'll fold that back. Sometimes I'll cut it off even. And now I'll use my fingernails, what I have, and get this lined up above the best I can before I let it fall down on there. You kind of want to start in the middle, push my way out like you're wrapping a graphic or something. Just like that. Now I'll do a final push later, right when I'm done, before I heat them up. So now I can go ahead and start pulling this paper off, just like you would a Band-Aid. Do the next section. Do a nice. This is the back section's the hardest, back and the front. I'm gonna try not to. I'm gonna fold, roll it over. I can probably go ahead and I'm going to take the rest of the paper off so I have more control over it. And then I'll wrap the back. And just kind of, you want it to flow over, so just kind of push. Kind of do it all even. Just like that. You got this little bit. I'm gonna let that sit while I get the sides taken care of. And it should all just kind of fall into place. So you see, it's right at the mag release, and it's not over it. So I'm gonna ride it this way, trying to make sure it's none's over the mag release at all. Peel that back a little bit. I got a little off. There we go. Smooth it forward. And now you're going to do your final wrap here. You want to do the same thing. It's pretty self-explanatory. This isn't rocket science, but you do want to get it laid right. Okay, so there we go. Everything kind of fell together. Smooth that end back over, tap that one down. Okay, so now I'll smooth out towards the edges again, like a decal or vinyl you're laying, tent, something, whatever you're used to playing. Kind of push out towards the edges to get any bubbles out, and there shouldn't be the way it lays down. It lays pretty smooth. Kind of hear one down here where the mag well is. I think I got it out there. Kind of still hear it, but it's not like it's bubbled up where you can actually see it. Okay, so okay. Now, so we got it wrapped now. Here's where we'll take our you don't want to get it too hot. So you want to, they say, even 130 degrees. Yeah, do not heat over to 130 degrees. So if you have a temp gun handy, use that, but you shouldn't be getting the plastic that hot. So you'll kind of just want to go around with your hair dryer, like my pink hair dryer I use, and kind of let it form while you're pushing everything down and out. You don't want to get it, like I said, too close. You'll start to melt the adhesive on the back too much. So I go around it a few times, make sure everything, and I'll shut it off. Let it cool for a few minutes. And then I'll go back, do it a few more times. So I'm gonna throw it over here in front of this little fan, cool it down, or you can just wait, but for the sake of the video I'm just wanting to do it kind of quick. Oh yeah, much better. These are, I like the rubber. I still kind of prefer the granulated, but for a carry gun, I mean, it's never bothered me before, but the rubber's great, but I still kind of like the granulated. I like the heavy texture. That's why I like my 2.0 so much. I know a lot of people cover that up or have it sanded off or stippled, but I like it. So now I'm going to do it again. sure all my edges are good. I don't want the edges peeling up on you. Okay, now, for the sake of the video and you see me do that 3 or 4 times, I'm going to let it cool down, and I'm going to do that probably 2 more times, just to make sure it's all good, everything's nice, stuck well, and all the edges are down. But that's it. I mean, that's how you install Talon grips on most guns. Talon grip does a really good job of their cuts. For everything lines up damn near perfect on almost every one I've ever had. I've never really had a problem with Talon grips. That's why I highly recommend them. I mean, they're great. I mean, so if you like sandpaper, get the granulated, and then if you want a little bit less, if you're carrying it and it does rub you where you carry it, you might want to get the rubber. The rubbers do help out quite a bit versus the Gen 4 Glocks and Gen 5s. They're pretty good, but for the most part, but I like a little bit extra. So yeah, that's how you install Talon grips on this is a Gen 5 Glock 19. This will also work for most other guns, including most Glocks. Now, if you're going to do a Gen 4, you want to watch your finger grooves. So that's 3 strands you got to get tucked over right, and they kind of bunch up, but not much. I mean, these are really easy to install, guys. So thank y'all for watching. If you like the video, like it, subscribe for more. We're going to be doing a lot more videos here soon. Thanks to everybody that did subscribe. They got me to the 103 subscribers I'm at now. Not much, but you know, I like doing the videos, so that's why I do them, and I appreciate everybody that watches them. So we'll see you next time on the shooting table.